always answer this question and people think I'm always lying. That my first album, Talk About It, is the one that I struggle with. Yeah. Yes, that I struggle with the most. I just listen to it now, I'm cringing. I'm like, I should have, that line, I should have said it this way. I feel that there's so many flaws in the project. My favorite creatively was Chairman, because the amount of work and music, like we would switch a beat halfway in the middle of the song. We would have vocals from Sarkodie with DJ Lambo screaming on the hook, with 3-4 different producers working on a song. SARS would touch something, then L3 would finish it, then Sam Yxng will come and play strings on the end. So that one creatively, I know we really pushed ourselves very, very far. But I would like to say that all of them, maybe when I grade myself, I believe my worst grade is like a B-. So it's not like I'm saying this one was an F, you understand? So if Chairman for me is an A+, Talk About It will be a B-. I think that for hip hop music, so let me be clear, these projects are all hip hop projects. The prevalent sound today in Nigerian music is this Afro pop. But we suffer when we're a one genre industry. If I think of a one genre industry and I want to remove everybody, I'm going to remove Asha, Brimo, Aramide, Adekunle Gold, Simi, MI, Olamide, Fino. Think about what our industry would be if I removed all these people, right? It would just be Afro-pop, and it wouldn't be a fully fledged, rounded industry. Right now, you can go to different shows and see a different crowd. You can go and see like what they're calling the alter sound now, these young kids that are doing amazing things, and go and see the style, fashion. I think we have a better industry when there are more genres. And so we wanted to pump some life into the hip-hop conversation, and we felt that to condense these projects and put them out in one month would sort of jumpstart this process. It's not going to be a one-off for us, in that we're still looking to help other rappers. We may not sign them, but we're looking to offer a platform to help. Alpha Music is somebody that just put out a project recently that did so well, and people can check it out. And there's going to be a lot more coming. It's hard for me to explain this to people, but because I guess people don't believe. But I never go into the studio thinking, what is it going to sound like in the clubs or the radio? I think if I had done that, my career would have been a lot different and maybe a lot easier. I've sort of seen myself as someone that needs to try to do things, maybe fail sometimes, but then other people will say, well, I like what MI did. And so with Rendezvous, I had no idea what it would sound like. I just knew that I wanted to work with these young guys. So I just rented an apartment. We moved in for like 2-3 weeks and we're working. And that's what came out. For the Chairman project, I felt like for rap music at the time that we were not using the limit of our length in collaborative process. So the Chairman album was the most collaborative hip-hop project I think till date. So it's always the idea that drives me, and then I'm also discovering the music as I go along. So I'm not in the studio saying this is the prevalent sound. If I was trying to do that, there are at least 3-4 vibes. There was a Zonto vibe, there was the Pong Pong vibe. They said that I would have done something like that. But I really just entered the studio and I just want to say what happens. And with DxnzL, there's almost nothing that you hear in the pop sound today. There's no fast song, there's no club song. In some way, maybe there's no radio song. It's just an expression of my journey of self-discovery. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel as an artist, that's my role. As a leader in the music industry, as a leader in hip hop, it's my role to always try to do something new. And even if people don't always agree with the outcome, I hope that it will always inspire people, young people, to say, I see what they might try to do there, maybe I can do it better. It's all about the structure. So I'll give an example. There's The Guardian. I'm sure there's a CEO. And then there's Guardian Life. And there might be an editor-in-chief of Guardian Life. Right? Correct? And so Chocolate City Music is a company that has, I think, almost 9 labels today. And the most prominent label we have is Chalk Boy Nation. And DJ Lambo is the president of Chalk Boy Nation. I am the CEO of the company that oversees all our labels. First of all, there's the critique, which is, I don't like MI's music. This album is whack, blah, 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 whatever. And I have no problem with that. I may disagree, but I have no problem with that. My challenge with the Pulse team was that I felt that as journalists, they cannot not tell the truth. So they were saying things that, my album had a low shelf life, it was not well received. And I said to you, let's do something right now, a thought exercise. I'm opening my phone right now. I'm going to go to the iTunes chart right now. I have no idea what it is. Right. I'm going to go to the iTunes chart while it comes up. So it's those things that I attack them on. I said, you have a job as a journalist to properly, okay, we're going to the charts, right? For album, right? This is today. And I'm going to just check, and you see number 6. This is the Chairman album. This is today. This today. You can check on your phone if you want to. So I said, you can say you don't like the album, but you can't say it had a poor shelf life because that is factually incorrect. You understand? And that is where the argument came out. I said, you guys are misrepresenting fact. There are things that you say that you can call and you can ask. And you can say, I called MI and this is what he said. My opinion is different, but when I look at the facts, blah, blah, blah. And so that's where the Loose Talk podcast came up. I don't know if people really caught that point as we went through the podcast. I think people saw it as an argument between they don't like MI's album and MI saying they should like his album. I didn't really care about that part. People are going to think what they're going to think. But when you make statements, it's going to go down in history. People are going to read this 20 years from now and say, oh, you can look at this article. Obviously, MI's Chairman album didn't perform well. False. It's my best performing album by far. By far. Followed by Rendezvous. And I can't stand for somebody to not say the truth about me and say it's the truth. You know? Nothing is impossible. I mean, Brimo, in terms of his journey as an artist, is probably maybe one of the most remarkable. His growth, his fan base, his opinions. He's so opinionated. He's so, and also from deep wisdom. He reminds me a lot of like the Kutis, that when they talk, you might read it and think it's just controversial, and then you read it again and you think about it. You're like, okay, I see what he's saying. I personally just felt that I'm a team player, and so during his leaving, there's some things that he said about Audu and people like that, and so I want to be clear what side I'm on. You understand? Sometimes people are like, "Oh, Brimo and I." Somebody told me the other day, "If you and Brimo did a song today, it would be a big hit." I get that, but I also want to be sure that I'm not in a position where I reinforce or validate something that I don't agree with, with my actions. But I wish him, all the best.
Is it possible that
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Man, even today, I'm still scared. I'm still scared about that. But again, it's that fear of talking in your ear all the time. Are you good enough? Are you doing this? Can't you see what the other person is doing? Look at where they are. I've come to a place where I operate from love. Am I happy? Am I at peace? Are the people around me happy? Are my relationships healthy? Am I enjoying making music? One of the things I saw at some point was that I was trying to make songs. There's a brief window where I was trying to make songs because the label was like, we need a single today. We need something to go to the club. And I tried it for a brief period, it didn't work, and I didn't feel happy at all. And I said, I'm gonna do what makes me happy. There are some politicians that are in power today, and they are the government. And am I satisfied with the state of the government? Of course, no. I think we're seeing people that we expect a high level of logic, a high level of empathy, and a high level of reasoning, acting out almost like young kids. And so on both spheres, there's extreme disappointment, as the majority of my experience being a young Nigerian today. For me, my personal belief is that right now the bar for Nigerian politics or leadership is influence. So if I have influence, then I'm seen as I have the requirements to run for office. But I don't personally believe that should be the requirement. I believe the requirement should be competence. And in terms of leadership now in elected office, I don't know if I yet have the competence to offer something there. So I can get the office, maybe, I can go in there, but most likely I would mess up. I'd become compromised by the system. I wouldn't achieve anything there. I think that as I grow older, one of the things I'm trying to do is to improve my personal competence so that if the opportunity comes or when the opportunity comes, I know that I'm not getting another job, another paycheck, but I'm actually going there to contribute and save lives. That interview.